Good day, everyone. How are you? My name is Dr. Rochelle Parks-Yancy, and welcome to our course, Organization and Management Theory. In this course, we will discuss, in particular, leadership, with specific regard to leadership capabilities, examples of good leadership, examples of poor leadership, and so forth. Let me say at the outset, our class is extremely interactive. For those of you who may have never taken an online course before, or even for those who have, my course always requires responses not only to the assignment material, but generally to our colleagues as well. Examples that are specific and actual are always necessary. So for example, when I just said that our course will be talking about leadership, students will have to always give their specific actual examples of whatever the point is that they're making. So, one example of leadership that is an issue now is, for example, the recent horrible, awful, terrible shooting in Connecticut of the school children and their teachers. One could argue that Congress and our elected officials have failed in terms of leadership with regard to guns. Now again, I'm not advocating for or against gun control in this message. That's not the purpose. My point is just giving you an example of what I mean when I'm talking about giving specific examples of our point. So if, for example, my point was that, oh, I feel like the government has failed in terms of leadership on guns, then I need to give it a specific example. And I may say something like, well, one example is that the ban on semi-automatics, assault weapons was not renewed, and people can still legally purchase those, and that our lawmakers need to address that issue. Again, that's not my actual position necessarily, but I'm just giving an example. So that's what I'm looking for. So, okay. Let me mention something else. Read the syllabus very, very, very closely. You are accountable for all information in it, including, foremost, the fact that late work is not accepted. Our work is only submitted on our discussion board because obviously this is an online class, and all work is due by 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays. So, for example, your first assignment will be due on, Friday, January 25th by 12 p.m. CST on the discussion board. Late work is not accepted. So what that means is once the discussion board closes at 12 p.m. CST on Fridays, then students cannot submit their work anymore, and I do not accept it by email or fax or any other way at all. I hope that's clear. Alright, let me talk about your first assignment. As I said, in this class we're talking a lot about leadership. But I find that before we can lead others, we need to be good leaders of ourselves, and particularly with regard to our careers. So often people kind of let their careers happen to them, and then they wake up 20 years after they finish college and they're like, well, how come I'm not doing X, or how did I get to Y? But it's because they weren't very focused on small gains leading to large gains in terms of their career. So, what are you doing to manage your career? Number one, what are your career goals? And I'm not interested in the career goals that sound good on paper. I mean, seriously, what is it that you really want to do? For example, if you're getting your EMBA to get promoted in your company, but deep down you really want to become a guitar player, I think that's awesome. Tell us how you're going to become that guitar player. If your goal is to become vice president or president of your firm and then eventually start your own firm, great. Tell us how you are going to do that. There is no ridiculous idea. If your goal is to go back to school again for basket weaving because you want to be the most awesome basket weaver in the entire world, awesome. I don't believe in telling people what careers they should or should not have. I'm more interested in, are you living up to your full potential? Whatever that may be. So, what you will do is this. You will record a video, and the syllabus clearly states the video formats that are acceptable, and you will tell us What is your career ambition? And again, I am not interested in the what sounds good, feels good, sounds good on paper ambition. I mean your deep, dark down in the bottom ambition. What you really want to do, whatever that is. And then I want you to tell us what are the very specific steps that you are taking now and will take in the future to make that ambition happen. Now, mind you, people can have several careers even simultaneously. So, for example, I'm a university professor. I also write books, which of course is part of my career. I also compete in bodybuilding, and I teach fitness, specifically spinning, and I do that just for fun. That's just for me. I do that, but it's something I take very seriously because I really enjoy it. So my point is that whatever so you may want to be vice president of your company, but also be the owner of a skydiving firm. That's fine. So anyway, tell us what steps you are taking specifically to achieve those career ambitions. Tell us what resources you think you will need, and tell us any potential obstacles that you believe you will face that you will do your best to overcome. You will do this, do this video, sharing all of this information in absolutely no more than 3.5 minutes. You will lose 5 points for every second that the video exceeds 3.5 minutes. The time length of your video must be visible. Now, as I said, the syllabus states the video formats that are acceptable, one of which is, of course, YouTube. I encourage you, do not use .move formats. In other words, don't use Apple's recording device at all. I say this because it often does not play on Blackboard, and you have to post your video on Blackboard. That's the only way it will be accepted. And it is due on Friday, January 25th, by no later than 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on the designated discussion board forum. Now, the other thing is that it can sometimes take a little while for videos to upload. It is your responsibility to be sure that it is done by 12 p.m. CST in terms of posting on Blackboard. What I would do, I would record the video and post it by no later than January the 24th. And I believe in doing work early, and sometimes it can take some time for videos to upload. And for example, let's suppose you make the very poor decision to wait until 11:55 to post your video on January 25th, and your video takes 6 minutes to upload. Well, it's not going to be uploaded by the time that the forum closes, and you're not going to get credit for your work. So, post your video long before the due date and time period. Okay, I guess I will close here. The other part of this assignment is you must also comment on one of your colleagues' videos, but this will be written. In other words, you will type this directly into the discussion board forum. So, on by 12 p.m. CST on Friday, January the 25th, here's what you will do. You post your own video telling us your career ambition or ambitions, and how what steps you're taking now and in the future to achieve them, and any obstacles that you think you may face, and how you will overcome them. This will not exceed 3.5 minutes. The time length of your video must be visible. Second, you will also comment on a colleague's video. What do you think about it? Any very polite suggestions that you may have to help your colleague achieve their career objectives, and so on. Both are mandatory. I do not accept partial work. So for example, let's suppose you post your video but you don't comment on one of your colleagues' videos. Well, then you get no credit at all for the assignment. Let's suppose you comment on a colleague's video but you don't post your own video. Then you still don't get any credit for the whole assignment. I do not believe in partial work. As graduate students, I expect people will do their work in a timely manner and will do it completely. Okay, I will close here, and I guess I will see all of you on the internet. Have a great day.